friend Ashlyn Mitchell,
Sorry, guys.
who is unable to play with us this time around.
So sad. You don't want the heat, though. I'll let y'all have fun.
You're a competitor, for sure.
I am very competitive. I'll cheer you guys on from behind the scenes for sure. But here's really quickly some of what we're following on Fox 10 midday. First, the city of Mobile's mayoral race is underway. And tonight, a forum will be held featuring all 4 candidates. We have those details. Plus, we're covering the Amtrak breakfast this morning to learn more about the trains coming to Mobile. And then, of course, Jen will have a look at your Tuesday forecast and some of that rain heading our way this week. These stories and more are all coming up on Fox 10 midday. We'll see you then.
All right, so Chelsea is purposefully hitting me in the head with her antlers here. But yes, the game for this Christmas in July segment is antler toss. Lee, you ever participated in an antler toss?
Nothing like this.
Well, welcome to your first time on Studio 10. So Lee and I are a pair. Jen and Joe are a pair. We played this game on the show before. I'm sure you've seen it in the past, but essentially, whoever rings the most antlers.
1 point per ring.
Right.
And we're going to have 8 tosses. 4 for Lee, 4 for me, 4 for her, 4 for her.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Chelsea and Jen are there.
You ready to get it?
Wait, you got to take a step back.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on now.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh.
Can we move, Jen?
Yeah.
There we go.
Lee.
Oh, only
Okay,
one. All right, we got this. I had all of mine just lipped out, as they say in golf.
I will say, Lee and I,
Is there music in the back?
have a one that's deflated.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay.
Advantage or something.
Maybe tilt your head
Yes.
up some.
2.
Look at this.
Ah, no.
Here.
3. There we go.
Way to go.
I'm kidding. Y'all are gonna win, but I have faith in us, Lee. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Right here. Oh.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't move! You should have moved on that one.
Oh, man.
And the final score of 4-0.
It's okay, Lee. It's all right.
But did you guys feel in the Christmas spirit, though?
I did.
That's the most important
We
thing.
felt the loser's spirit. That's
What's
what
going
we
on with
felt.
these things?
I don't know. Congratulations, guys. Good game.
Thank you.
Good
Good
game.
game.
Lee,
Good game.
I
Lee,
love
thanks
your
for playing.
partner.
Good
Thank
game.
you for
Yes.
stepping in. Okay, more Studio 10 heading your way after this.
Keeping a close eye on your forecast, and we're tracking the tropics right now with anticipated things begin to be felt here across the Gulf Coast. I'll be breaking down all of your forecast details coming up.
Plus, Visit Mobile is hosting a breakfast this morning on how the new Amtrak train could impact local businesses. Our Stephen Moody was there and has the details for you coming up.
Russia responds after President Trump promises harsh penalties if there isn't an end to the fighting in Ukraine. I'm Mather Rivera in Washington with the details coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. Happy Tuesday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Jennifer Lambers.
And Jen, obviously another steamy day ahead. Later in the week, we could see some more of that rain, right?
Yeah, that is exactly right, Ashlyn. We're going to be feeling some of those impacts from this system that we're tracking in the tropics here locally. And so it's going to be important just to stay updated with us. Nothing to really be worried or concerned about, but it's just to be educated. Just know what's going on. Yeah, that way you can also explain some of this to some of the folks that you might run into as well. We have so many visitors and tourists across the Gulf Coast around this portion of the season. And so just make sure that you're also letting them know, hey, rain, rip currents, that's what we're going to start to see by the end of the week. But if you look on the south side of Jacksonville, just closer towards Orlando, it's wet and it is soggy, and you can just start to see some of that counterclockwise rotation. And that's what we're just tracking what we're seeing in the tropics right there. So that's going to be Inves 93L, and only anticipating that to continue to track further off towards the west before making its way into the Gulf waters heading into tomorrow And then after that, it's going to be moving into an environment that it could potentially thrive in. I mean, we're talking about warm water conditions, less of that shear, less of that Saharan dust that typically likes to disrupt some of those tropical systems. And at that last check at 7 a.m., it wasn't looking too impressive, but I mean, it is moving over land. Those sustained winds were closer towards 30 miles per hour. It's really going to be once it moves into the Gulf waters that's where we're going to have to keep an even closer eye on it. The National Hurricane Center does have that 40% chance of development over the next 48 hours and the next 7 days. Feeling confident about that track of it moving further off towards the west. After that, that's where more of that uncertainty does come into play. But models are in much more agreement in the scenario that's going to be playing out for today. Not too concerned about those ones that want to just take it into the southern portion of Georgia. More of the ones that track it further off west. And then look at that agreement closer towards it moving into southern Louisiana. Regardless of where it goes, however, we will still feel some of those impacts. So the main takeaway with all of this is that rain chances and rip current risk, regardless of any of that, will increase heading into tomorrow and last into the weekend. If this does become the named tropical system, the next name would be Dexter. But also, please just make sure you're being cautious what you see on social media. Always double check the timestamp and the source. As always, if you ever have any questions, our meteorologists here, our mailbox is always open. You can message us on any of the social media sites or send us an email. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions or concerns that you might have. I'm going to talk more about what we're tracking out there and what you can anticipate here locally. That's coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Thanks, Jen. Well, first on midday this morning, a home exploded in New Jersey as flash flooding hit the area. This on your screen is what's left of that home in North Planfield. The blast leveling the house. Police say it caught fire, then exploded late last night. The residents had evacuated the home because of flooding and thankfully were not inside when fire and the explosion happened. So far, no injuries have been reported. And meanwhile, a vehicle stuck in floodwaters goes up in flames. This also happening in New Jersey last night. You can see that smoke coming from the hood of the car. Then all of a sudden, a flame starts to burn through the hood and it just grows from there. New Jersey is under a state of emergency declaration at this hour. And as we speak, flash flood warnings remain in effect across central Texas as thunderstorms and rain continue to soak the entire region. The weather is delaying some search and recovery efforts. We're told this comes just 10 days after severe flooding, which killed more than 130 people across the state, many of them in Kerr County. According to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, there are still 97 people considered missing. He says that's a significant reduction from the 173 unaccounted for that he announced almost a week ago. And according to the Kerr County, Texas Sheriff, more than 2,000 people from several agencies have joined the fight to help with recovery. Among them, Alabama Task Force 1, primarily made up of Mobile firefighters. The team is working along Big Sandy Creek, combing through debris, climbing rock cliffs, watching for snakes, and navigating rough terrain. Captain Brent Rogers says they haven't recovered any bodies, but searches like these take time.
We're on the Sandy Creek River right now, and we are working our way alongside. And in some places, the water spread away from the river a few hundred yards. And so we're fanned out, essentially walking on a line, going through debris piles, things like that, marking anything we find based on smells or sight.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey is giving more support to Texas. 2 Type 3 Swift water teams will help with search and recovery efforts. And of course, our hearts are with all of the agencies as they continue to search. And if you're looking to help those impacted by the flooding, Fox 10's parent company Gray Media is partnering with the Salvation Army. To help, all you have to do is scan that QR code on your screen, or you can head to our website, fox10tv.com, for more information. So far, over $800,000 have been raised thanks to you, and we're grateful to help in this initiative as our neighbors to the west rebuild. Meanwhile, Russia is responding to President Donald Trump's new plan to send weapons to Ukraine and threats to impose harsh penalties on Russia's trading partners if there's not a ceasefire. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more.
I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago.
President Trump clearly frustrated with Russia after months of failed attempts to bring an end to the fighting in Ukraine.
We want to see it end.
But on Monday, the president announced plans to sell $10 billion worth of missiles, air defense systems, and artillery shells to European allies who will then send those weapons to Ukraine.
This is only the first wave. There will be more.
President Trump gave Russian President Vladimir Putin 50 days to agree to a ceasefire, or the U.S. would target Russia's trading partners with 100% tariffs. Russia says these new actions by the U.S. and Europe conflict with their calls for the fighting to end.
It seems that such decisions made in Washington, in NATO countries, and in Brussels are perceived by the Ukrainian side as a signal for continuing the war, not a signal for peace.
The president's deadline and sanctions threat is drawing praise from both sides of the aisle.
I think that it is a remarkable turn and a very positive step.
I appreciate the effort by President Trump to entice Putin to the table.
But not everyone is cheering.
Is he just now figuring out that Ukraine is a friend to the United States of America and Russia is an enemy?
There's also a bipartisan bill on Capitol Hill that would impose more sanctions on Russia. But President Trump said on Monday he's not sure we need it. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
And happening now, fighting continues between Syrian forces and armed groups in Syria's Swida province. The clashes come shortly after Syria announced a ceasefire in the key southern city. Videos show gun battles in Swida city with Syrian soldiers firing weapons before the ceasefire was announced. Since then, dozens of people have been killed over the past 2 days in the clashes between Druze militias and Bedouin tribes. The Syrian government deployed forces to the area to restore order and is providing safe passage for civilians seeking to flee the conflict. Now, the surge in the violence in the Druze city marks the latest challenge for interim President Ahmed al-Shara in a region of Syria where Israel has vowed to protect the Druze minority. And in the meantime, European Union leaders are searching for ways to push back against President Donald Trump's tariffs. President Trump sent letters earlier this week announcing 30% tariffs against the EU and Mexico set to go into effect August 1st, which some say would have a devastating impact. The EU came together Monday to explore countermeasures. Leaders say they want to avoid a trade war but need to protect their best interests.
We do not want any kind of trade war with the U.S. It will be devastating, not just for the Americans, but also for Europe. So we don't want to escalate things. Then on the other hand, we also need to, I would say, flash some muscles. And I think we shouldn't leave out any possibilities.
The tariffs could raise prices here in the U.S. on everything from wine, cheese, and leather goods to electronics and pharmaceuticals. President Trump says he is still open to further discussions. Well, the United States slaps a harsh tariff on a Mexican import following failed negotiations. The Trump administration announcing that a 17% tariff on fresh Mexican tomatoes is in effect after no agreement was made with the country to avoid the duty. According to the Florida Tomato Exchange, about 70% of the tomatoes in the U.S. are provided by Mexico, up 30% from 2 decades ago. Mexico's economic secretary, meanwhile, says the country is still trying to reach a deal to pause the tariff, but warns Americans will feel the impact the most. Some economic experts believe the tariff will increase the cost of tomatoes by, listen to this, almost 10%. And in local news now, Visit Mobile hosted a breakfast this morning where we learned more about Amtrak's grand return to the port city. Fox 10 News reporter Stephen Moody has more on how the new travel options could impact local businesses.
50% model. Residents and businesses had the chance to learn more about the future of Amtrak this morning at the Greer St. Louis Market. Trains will run twice a day, stopping in 4 Mississippi cities before arriving in New Orleans. And for people coming into Mobile, groups are already making arrangements to make the trip as convenient as possible.
So we've already retooled our website. We have some design going on down by the platform for people to scan QR codes, to have a box, to have a flyer of things to do in Mobile. So those touch points are already being developed and will be very easy for our passengers.
Construction is already underway on the platform. That includes brand new tracks, and the first train will roll through next month. And more transportation options are not only good for Mobile, but for businesses as well.
It's very satisfying, and at the end of the day, options are good. Whether it's shopping at a grocery store or auto repair shops, and so transportation options are good, and I'm personally really excited about the restoration of Amtrak.
And for Mobile residents, this is a chance to experience something new.
You can sit there and really focus on who you're traveling with, meet new people, see new places, and have a new sense of experience there.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Lots of exciting things happening in the Port City. Thank you for that update, Stephen. In the meantime, just a reminder, we hope to see you as Fox 10 and the League of Women Voters hosts another mayoral forum tonight. All 4 candidates, Spiro Cherigatis, Barbara Drummond, Connie Hudson, and Paul Prine, have committed to being there. The forum will take place at the Via Center on Dauphin Street from 6 to 7:30 tonight. Our own Lenise Lagan will be there as the moderator, and this is just a great chance to hear from the candidates before the August election. If you can't make it though, don't worry, Fox 10 News will stream the event on all of our platforms. Well, coming up, trying to predict where flooding water is going is tough, but a new program from the University of Colorado could help solve some of those issues. Plus, wildfires continue to burn out of control in the western part of the U.S. We'll have the very latest, but first, Jen, how are things looking for us here?
Well, for today, Ashlyn, things are looking nice out there. We're taking a live view outside down on Dauphin Island. We're seeing some of the sunshine out there, just a light breeze. Those temperatures will continue to warm up over the next few hours. Hot, toasty, and humid heading into today, but changes are on the way. I'll be breaking down all of the details on what you need to know coming up.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. A wildfire that leveled a historic lodge near the Grand Canyon is growing rapidly now, and it's just one of several out-of-control wildfires burning out west. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers with the story.
Firefighters in Arizona are reporting little to no containment on a wildfire burning through the north rim of the Grand Canyon. On Monday, the fire destroyed a historic lodge and several other structures after being allowed by the National Park Service to burn for more than 2 days. Anxious tourists at the Grand Canyon say they're ready to evacuate if needed as the smoke gets thicker and the fire spreads.
It's just sad to see that it's happening and to see all this smoke.
Seeing the smoke, seeing the pictures that we've seen from last night's terrible.
I've been here 6 years ago and I don't remember being like this, so it's pretty sad.
Arizona isn't the only western state dealing with wildfires. Colorado Governor Jared Polis issued a disaster declaration, freeing up resources to fight 4 out-of-control fires burning through his state. And in Utah, the Deer Creek fire near the Colorado border has now grown to more than 10,000 acres. Over the weekend, conditions were so bad it created a so-called fire vortex. You can see the flames twisting like a tornado. Hundreds of residents remain evacuated, and it's not clear when or if they'll be able to return.
It's kind of a surreal feeling when you're like walking around your house and you're like, you know, how do you prioritize? Like, what do you take?
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are now asking the Interior Department to investigate why the Park Service allowed the Arizona fire to continue as a controlled burn. In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Meanwhile, environmental experts say climate change is causing more extreme weather events like the flash floods we've seen in Texas and several other states. Researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder say current forecast models are not equipped to provide specific predictions on water flow after heavy rainfall. A developmental model at Boulder's Flood Lab is meant to pinpoint the likely path and depth of floodwaters by comparing numerical data with topography maps.
In the United States, we have the National Water Model. It can be used for flood forecast up to several days ahead. But that model only predicts the river flow. Then we can visualize that output in a map where you can say the flood depths, flood extent, and the velocity of those water.
Now, researchers say help is needed from local communities all the way up to the federal level in order to improve the nation's flood model systems and potentially reduce damages in the future.
Taking another look at your forecast and a live view outside out in Pensacola Beach. Things look stunning to start off with for this morning. Just look at the vibrancy of the Gulf waters. Few folks getting out and enjoying it on this Tuesday, but today is going to be the best day for any of the beach goers. Tomorrow you're looking at decent conditions out there, just some increased rain coverage, but then we turn soggy, stormy, and we'll see some rough surf making an appearance by the end of the week. But right now, those temperatures out there, upper 80s in Mobile, lower 90s in Pensacola. So it's already feeling like the triple digits. It's hot, it's toasty. That'll only continue for the rest of today. As mentioned, the rip currents at our local beaches low for today and tomorrow, bumping up to high by Thursday and Friday. Please be cautious if you're visiting us. You know anyone that's visiting us. Just make sure that they're all aware of what we are anticipating, that regardless of that tropical development, it's still moving into the Gulf waters and it's going to start to churn it up, leading to some dangerous conditions out there. So again, just enjoy the pool over the next few days once we get closer towards Thursday and Friday. What we are keeping a close eye on in the tropics is going to be that area of low pressure that's just going to make its way across the Florida Peninsula, making its way into the Gulf waters. Now, it will continue to track further off towards the west and really moving into a favorable environment. It has some of the warm water conditions. Some of our local buoys out there, they've been picking up 88, 89, but off the coast of Louisiana, it's been closer towards 90 degrees. That's fuel for those tropical systems. Not quite seeing any of the cooler water conditions out there to help turn some of that up once it does begin to move through. But regardless of that track, the development, we will start to see some of those impacts. It's mainly going to be rain chances and also the rip currents. Taking a look at that motion, continuing just to see it push further off towards the west. And again, the models out there, the spaghetti plots, they are just beginning to show more of that agreement for it moving into southern Louisiana. But taking a look at the flash flood potential, the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, does have portions of the Gulf Coast in that marginal flash flood risk. This does include almost the entire Fox 10 viewing area, but some portions, including Mobile, Baldwin counties, included in that moderate flash flood risk, because this is going to be a rainmaker. We'll start to bring in some increased rain chances out there. And so our rainfall forecast heading closer towards Friday morning, it's still picking up on that 1 to even 3 inches of rainfall, higher chances closer towards coastal Mississippi. But this will really be where some of that uncertainty does come into play. It's going to be wet, it's going to be soggy, stormy, and unsettled heading into tomorrow, but lingering until the weekend. So just make sure that you're being cautious out there. Stay updated with us here at Fox 10. You can always download that Fox 10 weather app. That way you have the latest information. Now out there for today, we have sunshine out there. It's calm, it's quiet. Our rain chances are really minimal heading into the remainder of this afternoon. We will start to see those temperatures continuing to tick up, just maxing out mid to possibly upper 90s. But look at those, feels like temperatures easily in the triple digits, and rain chances really not out there for today. We have 20%. Even then, that's pretty generous in comparison to what the Futurecast wants to bring in. Just some little blips of green out there, higher chances closer towards the Florida Panhandle, but especially closer towards Okaloosa County. You have a decent shot at not seeing anything for today. Over the next 7 days, however, that's where the rain chances begin to rise. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we bump up especially that 80%, turning wet and soggy out there. Temperatures go down just a little bit. We start to knock down some of those rain chances once we get closer towards the weekend. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Now time for this day in history. On July 15th, 1954, the Krewe of Lafitte was founded in Pensacola. It's named for the pirate Jean Lafitte, who sided with Andrew Jackson and the United States against the British in the Battle of New Orleans. The Krewe of Lafitte was originally formed to host a parade and ball during the Fiesta of Five Flags Week, but quickly became a staple of Pensacola's Mardi Gras festivities as well. And straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, a father and his 8-year-old son are being hailed as heroes after saving people from a burning boat. We have the incredible story when Fox 10 Midday returns. Welcome back. You're watching Fox 10 Midday on your Tuesday now. And 5 people in Florida are safe, we're told, after a weekend boat fire. That's thanks to a man and his 8-year-old son. They helped rescue a family and their dog after investigators say a sailboat caught fire. Here's the story.
What you're seeing now is a boat fire in the area of Gillington Creek and the St. Johns River on Sunday. The person recording is Michael Schillingford, along with his 8-year-old son, Vincent. Before they captured this video, the father and son were about to leave the area when Vincent saw something in the air.
When my son mentioned that there was a boat that was having a barbecue on the back.
Little did he know, the boat was actually on fire with 5 people and their dog on board.
As I looked, I didn't quite see a barbecue. What I saw was more what seemed like engine smoke, and then shortly thereafterwards, we saw fire coming from the stern of their boat.
Schillingford and his son rushed over to help.
I could see the family were huddled up on the bow of their boat.
As they got closer, they realized they had to keep their distance because the fire was spreading.
So I threw out a stern line, and and the family with their life vests were able to jump in the water and grab the line and allow me to pull them away from the boat.
Around 12:15 p.m. Sunday, St. Johns County officials arrived at the scene. They put out the fire and helped ensure the family of 5 was safe.
The real thanks that I have are to the families that are prepared and for all the officials that were coming. You could hear the sirens, you could hear the helicopters, you knew that help was on the way.
And what a story. I'm sure they'll be telling that one at the dinner table for years to come. The family of 5 and their dog were all wearing life jackets. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported. Now, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is currently investigating the cause of that fire. Well, coming up on Fox 10 Midday, a preview of the 2028 Olympics. Plus, Vanessa Pacheco is at the Foley Library this morning, but not to get some reading in. Rather, she's learning about their art program after this. And Jen, just a great day to stay inside the AC with a book.
That's exactly right. Hey, she had a good book right there, the Housemaid series. Recommend it. Well, let's take it a live view outside, and hey, I would love to be out here right now, just propped up with a book, soaking up some of that sunshine. But rain chances are on the way, along with some conditions for that rough surf. I'll be breaking down more of your forecast details coming up when we come back.
If you haven't checked out the art classes at the Foley Public Library lately, you're missing out. Vanessa Pacheco has a sneak peek of what they're offering this summer in today's edition of Very Vanessa.
Oh, I'm taking a super cute craft class here at the Foley Public Library. I'm joined by Holly McIntyre. Now, Holly, this is part of your craft and coffee class. That's why I'm enjoying some coffee. Tell me, what are we doing this morning?
This morning we are bedazzling books.
That is really cute. Now walk me through the steps, Holly.
All right, so in front of you, you have rhinestones, a tray, a pen, and glue. So you've already picked your color. So you'll just take your glue and add your glue wherever you want your book to shine. And then just add your rhinestones to it.
Okay, so I went with the Wild Robot. Obviously, I've already started this, but I can't wait to kind of finish this up. I know it's gonna turn out really cute. Now, this is part of that craft and coffee program. What other classes do you have coming up for this?
Upcoming for August for craft and coffee, we have faux stained glass, which should be lots of fun.
Oh, that does sound like fun. Now, aside from this program, you offer other programs,
Yes.
right?
We do have lots of other programs for all ages, from babies all the way through adulthood. We have family bingo night. We have Harry Potter Day coming up. We also have a Saturday art class that also features a different craft each month. We have Dungeons and Dragons. We have something for everyone.
Oh, that is good to know. Now, these classes, are they free? Do you have to register? How does that work?
These classes are free to the public. You do not have to have a library card. However, we do ask for you to register for the class.
Okay, obviously some great information. Now, aside from these programs, you offer way more here at the public library, right?
We offer a computer lab along with Wi-Fi, a fax machine, and a copier for people to be able to utilize those services. We do have a notary here too, and we have a beautiful children's area for kids to just come and get out of the heat, get out of the weather, and just enjoy playing in a safe space.
Love that. Now, for anyone that wants more information, just kind of learn more about what y'all have happening here at the library, where can they go?
They can go to foleylibrary.org.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna complete this and are determined to finish this, but we got a little bit here. We just got a little bit, but I can't wait to finish this. Holly, thank you so much. And of course, we'll have all that information on our website, fox10tv.com. Make sure to click on the Very Vanessa tab, but So cute. Yours is cuter. Yours is cuter. Oh my gosh.
And hey, what a great activity to do, especially when it's either hot or stormy outside, which is just summertime here on the Gulf Coast. So something to keep in mind. Taking a live view outside down in Fairhope. Things look nice. Again, more of that construction has been completed. So in case you want to take a steamy stroll outside, you can head on out there, soak up some of that sunshine. Conditions will be a lot better heading into this evening, closer towards sunset. But taking a look at conditions across the southeast, we have quite a bit going on. And so really looking closer towards Jacksonville, Orlando, that's where that area of low pressure is currently situated. You can just start to see that counterclockwise rotation from that low that's going to be making its way across Florida, moving into the Gulf waters once we do get into tomorrow, and then potentially becoming something tropical. Now, the National Hurricane Center does have a 40% chance over the next 48 hours and the next 7 days for that area to develop. Main takeaway is that regardless of that development, we will start to see some of those impacts here across the Gulf Coast as it's moving into a favorable environment. It's warm water conditions out there. So this will be something that we continue to monitor and keep you updated on. Spaghetti models, those are also more in agreement for today. It's looking a little bit better, especially now that it's starting to get that center a little bit. So as it tracks further off towards the west, they are in agreement of it moving into southern Louisiana. The biggest concern with this is mainly going to be the rain that it's going to be bringing with it. We're going to start to see some of the increased chances for some of that rainfall and also the potential for just some of that quick flash flooding for portions across the southeast. But here's what it looks like on our Futurecast. This is going to be the European model. That's where it's currently situated. And again, continuing just to follow that westerly track that those spaghetti models were leaning towards, staying on the south side of us, but still increasing our surf, still bringing in some of those increased rain chances, especially closer towards the immediate coastline. And that's heading into Thursday morning, staying wet and soggy with just more of that rain beginning to push in, especially during the daytime hours. So we're going to be turning wet and soggy by the end of the week. And then there it is, moving into southern Louisiana, but still bringing those impacts for portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, continuing that soggy look out there. So as mentioned, it's really regardless of that development that we will see impacts, and our neighbors across the southeast will see some of those impacts. But if it does develop even further, if it does become a tropical storm, it becomes that named system out there, the next name would be Dexter. But do keep in mind, we're still mid-July. We've knocked off 3 names so far. Now we continue just to keep a close eye on what could potentially be the next one. And if it does become that name system, it would be Dexter. Now also keep in mind, we still have a long ways to go for the season ahead of us. That's where we are. And the peak of hurricane season does come into play in the middle of September. Focusing more on our forecast here locally for your Tuesday. Hot out there for today, mid to upper 90s. Feels like temperatures easily in the triple digits, feeling like 105, 106 out there. As for the rain chances getting further along into the rest of today, very minimal, about a 20% by the time we get further along into this evening. And that's pretty generous. But I'll have a final look at your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Thanks, Jen. All right, kids, listen up now. Your chance to be featured on Good Day Gulf Coast is coming up this week. Fox 10 will be holding open auditions this Friday for our bus stop forecast. It's all happening at Gallery Night in Pensacola beginning at 5 p.m. Kids from kindergarten through 5th grade can bring up to 4 outfits for each of the seasons. But a key reminder, if you want to be seen, don't wear green. In the meantime, getting bitten by a mosquito or a tick this summer could be more than just an annoyance. It could cause you to get very sick. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says anyone can be at risk of getting sick from just a single bite. Researchers say mosquitoes and ticks often seek out human blood because the proteins are used to help produce their eggs. The CDC says the best way to protect yourself is by wearing clothes that are treated with an insecticide called permethrin or by using bug spray. Experts say vector-borne diseases, which are germs spread from insects like mosquitoes and ticks, are becoming a greater health risk because of rising temperatures. And right now on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream, Good Day Gulf Coast anchor Sarah Wall takes a look at which diseases are being reported in our area, which insects and other critters are spreading those diseases, and of course how you can protect yourself and your family. So a very timely story for us. Sarah's Spotlight, Summer Insects and Diseases, is available right now on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream. And don't forget, you can catch it live every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Well, tech firms are winning big, and a preview of the 2028 Olympics. Fox Business correspondent Jerry Willis has today's Fox Business Briefs.
Tech giant NVIDIA getting the green light from the Trump administration to sell its H20 AI chip in China. That after CEO Jensen Huang met with President Trump. The chips are specially designed for China and will meet U.S. national security concerns. Meanwhile, the Department of Defense offering government contracts of up to $200 million to companies including Google, Anthropic, OpenAI, and Elon Musk's xAI, all in an effort to advance the development and deployment of AI tools across federal agencies and help support national security.
Clearly, the AI race is on, and we need to win. And there we have really a very much a fighting chance. On the other hand, I certainly, where there is not really a race because of the imbalance in the game, China has been stealing our IP for forever. That needs to stop.
And a first look at the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles, with organizers releasing a preliminary order of events for what they are calling the most ambitious program in Olympic history. After opening ceremonies on July 14th, the athletics and swimming competitions will switch their traditional weeks for the first time ever, with track and field events up first and swimming pushed back to the second week of the Games. The closing ceremony will take place July 30th at the LA Coliseum. The LA Olympics is projected to generate more than $6 billion in revenue. In New York, Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Well, straight ahead, Chipotle is bringing back Lipotle. We'll tell you what that is. Plus, one of America's favorite card games is heading to the gambling capital of the world. But it won't be around for long. Details after this. All right, welcome back in, y'all. Chipotle is bringing back its Lipotle lip stain.
So it sold out not long after last summer's release.
It's an avocado-inspired stain that dries into a metallic green foil tint.
After letting it dry and spraying it with an activator, you peel the top layer off to reveal a nude rose shade underneath.
Okay, I was hoping it wouldn't stay green. I was a little worried about that. This is the second year Chipotle has collaborated with cosmetics brand Wonder Skin to release the product.
It's available for $29 exclusively at wonderskin.com today.
New look for the newscast?
Yeah, I know. Especially imagine not quite knowing that you need to peel it off.
Right, that's what I was concerned about. I was like, okay, a green lipstick,
metallic
kind of
green.
weird.
I
can
color
get on board.
Yeah.
The middle color is nice. I think that, I don't know if you've been on social media or TikTok a lot recently, but there are a lot of lip stains now that are kind of a new thing. I haven't tried them out, but maybe need to hop on board.
There you go. Something to check out.
In the meantime, dogs have been called man's best friend, but there's another four-legged animal that can arguably share that title.
Today is National I Love Horses Day.
7th grade Ashlyn would have loved this day. Horses have been a common thread throughout human history.
Not only to provide transportation, but they've also cleared fields, moved cattle, and even provided assistance in wars.
Horses are used by police departments here locally as well. And of course, they star in racing with the Kentucky Derby, the crown jewel event.
There are hundreds of breeds, from Arabian to Thoroughbred to Clydesdale, my favorite growing up, the Shire, and more.
Horses have excellent vision thanks to minimal blind spots, which is why it's hard to sneak up on one.
Another horse fact, horse hooves are made from keratin, the same protein found in human fingernails and hair.
That's right. I love how you said Clydesdales are your favorite, because I grew up near St. Louis, so we visited the Budweiser Fish Museum, and that was always incredible. They're huge. I mean, they're so impressive and beautiful. So
I was gonna say, were you ever into Webkins?
I was.
Yeah, my first one was the Clydesdale.
I would have been so jealous of you.
See, there you go.
So jealous. All I had was a little dog.
Oh.
Well, listen to this. A popular card game is making its debut in Sin City soon, but there's a catch.
Mattel, parent company of the card game Uno, held a contest back in May.
The lucky winner and a guest will get to stay at the first ever Uno Social Club at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas this weekend, July 18th to July 20th.
Mattel says that the club features Uno-inspired games, themed rooms, and immersive experiences.
Like a lot of fun. The suite will also provide a private dealer to shuffle the Uno deck and comes with a private bowling alley.
But don't get too excited because Mattel says guests are limited and they will not be able to wager real money on games.
Mattel says it plans to debut more pop-ups across the country this year, so there's more to come. Hope this looks fun.
It does look fun. I know there was confusion too of people thinking that it was actually going to be on the Vegas floor, the casino floor downstairs, but it will not. However, they announced I think 6 pop-ups already in a bunch of major
6
cities.
pop-ups.
Yeah.
Anyone close by to
I don't think
us
so.
on the Gold
No, I
Coast?
think it was. I know New York was one.
Okay.
It was like major
Of course.
cities.
Of course.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. I love some Uno though. Have you
Yes.
played Spicy Uno?
I have not.
Okay, Spicy Uno is like Uno with a twist. So if you draw 7, people have to be quiet until you draw another 7.
Oh,
Just a
that's
lot of
fun.
little different moving parts. It's fun.
That
It's a
sounds
fun
like a good
version.
one.
All right, we'll be right back with 3 to know before you go. Jen, we're taking a live look where?
We are looking down at Dauphin Island. Sunny out there for right now, but hey, maybe a good time to plan some games, some board games inside over the next few days as it's going to be turning a little soggy out there. I'll have a final look at your forecast coming up when we come back.
Listen to this. Authorities in New York City are using high-flying, high-tech drones to combat a disturbing and dangerous trend known as subway surfing. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
4 teenagers are lucky to be unharmed after an NYPD police drone spotted them taking part in an extremely dangerous activity known as subway surfing. The shocking video captured the teens, ranging from ages 12 to 16, riding on top of the fast-moving train as it traveled through the Bronx, according to News 12. After authorities relayed the train's position, it was stopped and held at a nearby station, and the 4 teens were taken into custody. NYPD officials say since launching drone operations in late 2023 to combat this risky riding trend, 200 subway surfers have been apprehended. The video has been gaining traction on social media, where the consensus seems to be that this dangerous activity is less an extreme sport and more just extremely foolish. Another thrill seeker appeared to escape serious injury when their paragliding journey was cut short by power lines. Whoa! Oh no! An eyewitness captured the incident on camera as the paraglider came in low over North Dakota's Red River and struck the electrical lines, setting off a large spark. The pilot and his craft then splashed down into the river. He was eventually retrieved by emergency officials and, according to KVLY, was unharmed by the shocking close call. Look, kids, if you're going to risk life and limb on extreme sports, do it the right way. You know, when you're a grandmother. Just look at 86-year-old fearless freefaller Kim Noor, who has been hurling herself out of perfectly good airplanes for decades and, according to WABC, is flying towards an ultimate goal of reaching 1,000 lifetime jumps. She says taking the big leap is all about living in the moment. I say no more and just soar, Kim Noor. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Yeah, she's incredible. Well, here's your 3 to know before you go today. Dannon recalling its Yo Crunch yogurt products because plastic pieces could be inside the dome topper. The company says people could possibly choke if they swallow those pieces. Dannon is recalling all flavors and sizes of its Yo Crunch products with an expiration date between July and September. So if you bought it, either throw it out or contact the company's consumer care line for a refund. And then for the first time ever, Major League Baseball's All-Star Game will use the automated ball strike system tonight. The technology allows teams to challenge balls and strikes. It's been used in the minor leagues and spring training, but never before at a major league park, which is interesting. Each team starts the game with 2 challenges, and they keep their challenge if they are deemed correct. Only the pitcher, catcher, or hitter can challenge a call, though. The ABS system was in place during the future games at Atlanta's Truist Park on Saturday. And you can watch the All-Star Game tonight on Fox 10. Coverage starts at 6. Then finally, Alabama's sales tax holiday starts this Friday. The Alabama Retail Association says this is the 20th time the event is taking place. The state waives its 4% sales tax on all school-related supplies and clothes. More than 300 cities and counties throughout Alabama will also waive their local taxes. We have more details on our website, fox10tv.com. Jen, can't believe we're already talking about school. How do you feel about that as a mom?
I know. It's here, and now I feel like, oh gosh, this school year just ended. Now I got to prepare again. So I think
way to get school supplies.
I know. I think this week, I think we'll go.
Alrighty.
Well, let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast. So we are monitoring the tropics out there. We do have this area of low pressure that has a 40% chance of development over the next 48 hours and the next 7 days. Over the Atlantic, there's going to be a ridge of high pressure that's also going to be influencing the direction that it travels, making it travel west, moving into the Gulf waters. Now, forecast models, they're getting a little bit more of agreement. I think it just updated. It had that one that went way down south out there, but you really just got to follow the tracks of some of the agreement, and it is just leaning continuously more towards that westerly travel, making its way into southern Louisiana. Regardless of where it does travel, we will feel impacts. Do keep that in mind. Although it's going to be to the south of us, we will see rain showers and we will see our rip currents on the rise. It's high Thursday and Friday. Please be cautious. If you know anyone that's visiting us, you run into a tourist, just remind them like, hey, there's going to be a tropical system potentially in the Gulf waters. Just stay out of it. Enjoy a pool day. Take a stroll along the beach. I know they're down here. You're wanting to enjoy vacation, but please be careful out there. For today, however, it is going to be hot and steamy. Temperatures maxing out mid-90s, feeling more like the triple digits out there. Will turn much more soggy by Thursday and Friday. We'll continue to keep you updated right here on Fox 10. As always, please be cautious what you see on social media. If you ever have questions, reach out to our team here.
Great reminders. Thank you, Jen, and thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live starting at 3 p.m.